so far so good. Season's been going well. Had good results in all my classes, including middleweight GP, which is often a focus for us. But yeah, so far so good. Season's going well, and just got to keep it rolling.
GTL has it's been up and down. I've been riding okay. I was struggling a little bit all year, just been off a little bit. Brett's riding amazing. Eli is riding awesome, and he bumped up to the 600. He's riding awesome, good there too. And the Pirelli guys are right there also. But so far we're good. You know, we're in the second half of the season now. This is where it all counts, so you can't make mistakes. You got to stay up at the front. Brett's on a new bike, and it agrees with him well, and he's going real good. But I think we have something for him for the rest of the year.
So far my season's been going pretty amazing. The last 2 weekends I've been able to win all of my races that I've entered, so that feels really good, and it's really rewarding after such a tough past few seasons, especially last season. But I'm just going to try to keep it up, try to keep improving, because I kind of hit a plateau where I wasn't really pushing so much anymore, so I'm going to try to break that habit.
Yeah, away from the track, I'm really busy. Obviously, family and work life is crazy and takes up a lot of time. And oftentimes the race stuff gets a little bit pushed to the back. I'm a little bit of a late preparer, so trying to get the bikes prepared, checked over, oil changes done, and just the basic maintenance stuff. And trying to get that done in the time frame that allows me to be here and ready to race. Takes a lot of effort, and I've been doing it for a lot of years. I started back in 1991, so kind of got a system down for it. It's never been a great one, but it seems to get the job done. And again, it just takes the whole effort takes a lot of energy, just because again, work life's crazy busy. Having a 7-year-old at home, and his hockey's starting up in a few weeks, so coaching that team and just running around trying to get things lined up away from the racetrack, but also keep the tires and the wheels rolling here and ready to be competitive each LRS, or excuse me, and NEMRR weekend. It's definitely a big effort for sure.
Middleweight GP has been again up and down. I feel like I'm going okay, and then getting left a little. Ben showed up last week and rode really well, and Eli Block has moved up to a 600, and he's adapting very well. And we had a little battle in the last middleweight GP. Again, I'm hoping to finish out the year at least in second. We'll see what we can do. Scotty, as usual, is a little bit ahead of everybody. He's always right on point, and he's been riding well as always every year. I'm getting a little older, and he seems to be getting faster.
So it's really mental in this sport, and leading championships is great for me, and it's a great experience, but I definitely need to work on kind of getting back to my old attitude towards racing, which is just pushing as hard as I can, and trying to limit the mistakes that I used to make. I really feel like I have a lot more to go on this bike, and I could definitely push a little bit harder just to reach my potential. So my goal is to try to keep doing that, and my competition has definitely stepped it up, both bike-wise and rider-wise. So it's going to keep me honest. This weekend's going to be really tough, but I'm going to give it everything I have and just try to improve as a rider.
Well, I think experience is the biggest thing. If you watch guys, like Eric Wood and Rick Doucette and others, there's no replacement for experience. Even a beginning rider, my words are never spend money, just do laps. Don't be buying the latest greatest shock or this new exhaust pipe or this kit XYZ part. Just go out and do laps, and the more repetition you can get, the better you get. And same lies true with traffic. It's about understanding, looking ahead, having a plan in your head, being able to adjust that plan because it's always a changing environment out there. But trying to look past that traffic, find the safest way through and the quickest way through, and not let it bog you down, not ride at their pace. Try to get them as clean as possible as soon as you get up on them, and keep on moving forward. That's the biggest thing, and that really just comes with experience. It's all words until you have the experience in the laps and the know-how to be able to adjust for that on the fly, for sure. So it's just experience. It's a lot of laps around racetracks and understanding who you might be catching, where you might be catching them, and try to be a few corners ahead in your mind on when you're going to get them and how you're going to get them.
So to do well in this sport, it takes a lot of dedication. You have to really want it because it takes a lot of work to get to this point. Both working every day during the week so that you can pay for races every weekend and tires, but sponsorship is also a lot of effort that it really helps and it pays off, especially for me this year. I have some pretty amazing ones. And working out on the track is really hard too because you're trying to balance not pushing too hard on your practice days so you don't throw it away, but you're also trying to make rider improvements and you have to push the limits to do that. So that's probably the most difficult part mentally.
Well, GTL is it's my first race of 11 in the weekend, so I definitely ease into it. It's 25 minutes long. I am a professional athlete with a perfect physique, and I try to use a lot of little energy as possible and make sure that I'm there at the end. It's usually the middle of the race, everybody kind of calms down a little, and then you wait for the traffic to get through, and then it's a sprint to the end. But it's definitely a waiting game, and I definitely like to be there at the end. I try to plan for the end, but not always get there. Sometimes a red flag comes out and catches me out before I can get to the lead. But racing with those guys is always a fun.
So I would say the secret to a fast lap at Loudon and just anywhere in general is to just stay focused the whole time and don't overwhelm yourself. So I noticed my fastest laps are the ones where I almost try a little bit less, like just try to be perfect in every corner that you get coming up on, and just kind of take it slow in a way mentally and don't over push any corner because that can ruin a lap really quick.
Last round was it was all right. I mean, I got third in both 500 races. Definitely was expecting to be a bit closer to Adam and Renee, but they were just on it and went out in front and just left me in the dust. But I was in my own little pocket. But no, the change up in the rear tire definitely helped. It's going well. This week I'm trying a little bit lower pressures in the rear, trying to feel it out, and I'm starting to like it.
Yeah, round 4 went pretty well for the most part. Little slow start to the weekend. We had a good race. Heavyweight Superbike was pretty good. I got a third. The dash was a little bit tougher. A couple of outside influences were pretty strong in that race, which was good to see. And then Sunday, I had a really good race. I crashed out of second place behind Scott Greenwood. Unfortunately, damaging one of my bikes pretty heavily, so I'm only here with one bike for this round today.
Sure. So last round in GTL, we were having a pretty good race. Forget what place I was in right now, but one of the laps going through turn 1 was a little bit offline and tried to make a mid-corner correction to my line, and never should do that really, but this time I was just asked too much of the tire, lost the front end, and slid with the bike for a little ways. The bike kind of pinned down my left leg until we hit the NASCAR transition, and then the bike went off one way and I went off the other finally. So ended up getting a little bit of injuries to my feet in that, a little bit of road rash that caused me to miss the rest of the race and the rest of the weekend. Bike is in tip-top shape as it was before. Actually, my teammate Nick took it out in Superbike after I crashed, so at least he was able to use it the rest of the weekend, but I wasn't able to continue at that point.
This weekend, definitely want to be with Adam and Renee. They're just on it and pushing those bikes so hard, and I definitely want to be with them battling for that top spot.
So as far as the rest of the year, it's going to be to get my A-bike back together, first and foremost, and then keep pushing strong. I broke into the 13s last round, which was pretty impressive, so that was my first, pretty impressive for myself, and I'm going to keep plugging away at that and like to try to get them times down there more consistently.
To keep up with them, I think I'm definitely gonna need to push a little harder. They're pushing crazy hard, and definitely can make up a few seconds in a few spots, and then I pull on them in a few spots and they pull away from me in a few spots. So all of us can definitely go faster, but we just all gotta put it together and be consistent and fast.
Yeah, well, you can kind of see there's a for sale sign on the bike here, and we're parked in a different place than when we normally speak, Martin. She's up for sale right now. I think I want to try something different. I've had a good couple of years on the Duke here. We won 2 championships and lots of season-long podiums in other classes as well. But I think it's time for something different for me, so thinking RS 660. Seems to be a couple of guys up here are running pretty good on those, so I've never had an Italian bike, so I think I want to give that a shot. So it's time for somebody else to get to enjoy the KTM.
Yeah, the race was really good. Because of my one-round suspension in the DQ that I had this year, definitely hurt me on points for starting-wise, so I just started in the 3rd row. So luckily I've been able to learn how to launch this thing in the 2 rounds I've had. So launched, I came out I think 4th place in the turn 1. So strong start, had to make my way through. I think we were 3 or 4 wide going into 3. We went double file in and it kind of got sketchy, so I ended up probably coming out in 3rd on the 1st lap. Got around Ian on the 2nd lap on the straight. He passed me back on the straightaway, but I got him into 1. And you know, I tried. I don't think I could have caught Scotty if I wanted to, but you know, I tried running a good pace that would maybe close the gap a little bit, or be consistent. But you know, he's the, I wouldn't say the, I can't say the king because that's Ricky there, but he knows what he's doing here. He's got a lot of laps. I can't disrespect the man. He's such a great rider. he's so smooth, he's so fast, so he's running such a great pace that he can just do it in his sleep. So I'm trying to go out there. I'm happy with the 13.4, or I think a 13.3, one of the two, I think I did. But it's a good start. Definitely, I came off of COVID a week and a half ago, so I didn't know how much it would affect me, and I was definitely tired by the like 7th lap or so, and I kind of used my head for the first time in a while, and I was like, you know what, I'm kind of tired. Let's set a good pace. I know I have a big gap behind me. I think we can bring this one home in second place. I'll be pretty happy with that because I know I ain't gonna catch Scotty. So it was a good race, and I'm happy with the result and ready to go for next round.
Yeah, so the race started off, it was pretty hectic. Ian got a really good start and we kind of struggled to get by him initially, so it was definitely like a group of 4 of us that were just pretty much 4 wide all the way around the track, and then pretty much as soon as like Scott and Eli made it by, we kind of filed in and started racing. So I was definitely on the edge. Like I think I just started the race and was pretty motivated to just stick to Eli and make it by Ian really like as fast as I can. So that was like my drive, just to really stick with them and do the paces that I was doing.
Yeah, the dash was amazing. That was probably personally my best race to date, just finding something a little deeper and sticking it out to the end. Didn't get the whole shot, a little late on the light, but slotted in behind Paul and managed to pass Paul back into turn 3. So got to carry the lead till he got me back. I think Scott got me into 11, and Eli got me the next lap. And that was kind of how it went for 8, 9 laps. And starting to really realize I could finish in 3rd. And then Harlan showed up, threw it up the inside of turn 3. Well, he came by with his rear tire in the air, so I knew that wasn't going to stick. So got back in front of him. He passed me back in 11. And at that point, I kind of figured I was probably just going to settle for 4th. Well, he made a couple slides, a couple errors the next lap, and the next lap I came out right on his tail from turn 12 and used the power to get by him on the straight. And that was how it was going to finish until I came out at turn 12, the last lap, and ran out of gas. So I don't know how that happened. I thought 2 gallons of gas, should have been an extra half gallon, and whatever. I resided for 4th. Still probably my best run to date. A great time, and it was a blast. A lot of fun.
Yeah, so 3rd last round, 2nd this round. Next round, my goal is to hopefully be able to push the whole entire 12 laps. I know I said that last round because I came back from broken ribs, but now I had COVID. So now, next round, hopefully just be healthy enough so I can have the endurance to push for all 12 laps or set a good pace. And, you know, I want to see Scotty for as many laps as possible. You know, by the end of the year, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the pace is going to be. And, you know, I mean, obviously the goal would be to win, but I don't think that's going to happen yet. But you never say never. But I'm looking forward to the next 2 rounds and learning from Scotty. It's just, hopefully, I just want to be closer to him because he has such great lines here and he knows so much, and I just want to be able to learn and stay behind him.
So we've been playing around with ride height adjustments, kind of raising the front end, trying to just overall raise the whole height of the bike. So yeah, the changes that we've been making has been really helping on the track. So the tires, I mean, Mike had a whole bunch of X's, so we kind of grabbed as many as we could before like they were all gone. But I don't know, pretty much like when it's like a nice warm day, I try to get the softest as soft as I can, and that should just last the race. Yeah, and then we'll get a new tire for the next race.
Well, it's Saturday, and I've had a double down. I had a good 500 GT. I did some data-driven coaching stuff. I put sensors on my hands and feet and to test my bar pressure and foot pressure. And I ran some good laps during the GT. And then 500 Superbike, I had a down. I hit the curbings at 11 and just tucked the front. But that was a little whoopsies.
and then ultralight superbike I got taken out, and it was more my fault, but we both took responsibility for it. It's racing, it happens.
So coming into this round, I've been having some bike issues all season. Seemed to be some kind of electrical issue mixed with some kind of mechanical issue, which is, you know, the worst case scenario, trying to chase that kind of stuff down. I've been riding Eric Block's bikes. He's been gracious enough to help me out, but I really wanted to get mine sorted. So I've had some time to work on it. Thought I had it figured out again, and again Friday it was messed up. My teammate Christopher Woodman helped me out, and we diagnosed some more electrical stuff and think we found the problem. So I was pretty confident going into Super Singles on Saturday. So Super Singles, I was still second in points somehow. I missed the last round. I had some personal things to take care of. So coming into this, I was just, I think, 1 point behind Sergio. So I knew I had to do, you know, the best I could to try to get in front of him and stay in front of him. Went out and gridded. And once again, we have a Kramer in our series. I thought we got rid of all those guys. Those bikes are fantastic. They're super fast. They're hard for us to keep up with. So there was another challenge right off the bat. The lights went out. I got a pretty good start. Got behind Gunnar and then the Kramer. Fought through some traffic and then took advantage of some lap traffic and made a better decision than the Kramer and got past and had a pretty consistent lap time after that, only to be passed by Ben Glotty. Couldn't be passed by a better kid. Then followed Ben for a little bit and held on to third place and ended up finishing where I thought I would.
It's a bit intimidating at first because you're going out there with these big names, Renee Franco, you know, Adam Muscaro, people who are leading championships, and you're just coming from leading the amateur pack and you're sitting in the back of the expert pack. So it was a bit intimidating at first, but once I figured out there was really nothing to be scared of, I started getting my groove back, and you know, it's racing, stuff happens, and the day didn't end so well, but I'm trying to end the weekend out on a good note.
So with 2 rounds left to go, obviously I'm still at a deficit. I think I'm 32 points behind out of first. So the plan is just to keep pushing forward, trying to stay in front of Sergio. He's running really good this year. So if I can just stay in front of him, I might still have a chance with the last round being a double points round. But I would like to salvage, you know, a championship would be great, but I'd be happy with how things went this year to remain in second place.